3 Indian women, an Indian car, 18 countries, 23,700 kilometers over 100 days. Thank you. The first Indian car to make it to the Arctic Circle. The first Indian car to be driven on the German Autobahn. Thank you. My name is Rashmi, and this is my teammate Soumya. We belong to a community called Women Beyond Boundaries.
So Women Beyond Boundaries was an idea actually conceptualized. We were a team of 3 on this drive, Rashmi, myself, and Nidhi. Nidhi was the one who conceptualized, thought of the whole thing of this drive from Delhi to London. She's the one behind the concept of Women Beyond Boundaries. Unfortunately, she's from Delhi, and therefore she could not be here with us. We miss her. And she wanted to create a platform for women drivers, basically, to do these long distance drives, because she felt that women are always doing short drives like ferrying kids to the school or to the activity classes, but never taken to long distance driving really. And she wants to create a platform for this, and this is the maiden journey for Women Beyond Boundaries for transcontinental road expeditions. So we were on this, and I'm really proud to be on this trip. So I thank Women Beyond Boundaries and Nidhi for conceptualizing this.
The road trip for Soumya and I has been mostly about connecting with people. That's what has been our takeaway.
Right through the journey, for me as a traveler, I've been traveling a lot, driving a lot within India, but this is the first time we've done a transcontinental drive like this. And I love meeting people. So the connect with the people is what enriches my life and my experiences. I'd like to share this story. It was in the initial leg of our journey, actually, when we were driving through the Northeast. We had to drive to the Burma border, the Myanmar border, so we had to cross through Manipur. And Manipur, like the people of Manipur say, it's also called as Banpur. So we were driving, we started the drive from Kohima in Nagaland, and we drove about 1.5 hours. By 10:30 in the morning, there was a roadblock for inner line permit, and we didn't know anything about this, so we just stopped by the road, and then people came and said the next roadblock is going to open only by 7:30 in the evening. So we had to stay on the road from 10:30 to 7:30. No choice, we parked our car and we stood there, and we saw all these protesters coming by with lathis in their hand and stones in their hand, looking at us curiously, some completely drunk, and kind of wondering, what are 2 women doing, what are 3 women doing on the road like this? And we had, in fact, a drunk guy come to our window, and then he gave us a sob story about how we reminded him about his sisters, and we had to say yes, we acknowledge the fact, and we had to say Jai Manipur and stuff like that. Okay, all that done. And we saw these 5 guys walk past us, come back to our window and say, "Oh, so you girls are from Delhi?" He said, "Yes. It's not safe for you to be here, and why don't you join us for lunch in our house, because we've organized lunch for these people who are lined up on the road." So we had to actually choose between the devil and the deep sea, protesters, drunk guys with lathis and stones, or these 5 guys who are offering us lunch. But our palate took over, and we said, "We'll follow you there." So we drove with them, apparently, to their house, and when we stopped, it was a narrow by-lane, and when we stopped, we had 5 more guys coming at our car, and we thought, okay, assault, plan A, plan B. We had already done that in our heads, but we couldn't do much about it. And I asked the guy, he said, "My family is cooking for us." So I said, "Can you bring your mother out so that we can say hi to her?" He said, "No, you come into my house first." And then we said, "No, you call your mother out." But then this went on for some time, and then we said, "Okay, 5 guys at our window peering at us. Let's just get out and brave whatever is going to happen." So we got out of the car and went into his house, and it was the most blissful sight and smell, because he had a mother who was cooking authentic Manipuri pork, and the smell just came on to us. And he had 2 sisters who were so warm and friendly. And it was such an amazing feeling that it was a warm welcome to us, and they left the strike that they were opposing for. They took us for a picnic near the river, and it was such a fantastic experience. I think travel is about these kind of experiences, that you meet unknown people. We trusted our gut instincts, and it worked very well for us.
Okay, when we entered Kyrgyzstan from China, and we are getting our visa stamped. So this big burly customs officer comes across to us and he says, "You're from India?" And we said, "Yes," and all serious. And suddenly, without a warning, he just breaks into a jig and he starts dancing to "I Am a Disco Dancer." Okay, yeah, and and it's been like that throughout Central Asia. I'm actually quite amazed and blown away by the impact that Indian culture, and especially movies, has over these people. People of Central Asia. Mithun Chakravarti is huge. He still is in Central Asia. And it's so bizarre because the moment they would find out that we were Indians, they would stop us even in the middle of the road and would want to dance with us to Mithun Chakravarti's songs. And they would actually, Jimmy and
Aja.
Yeah, and they would have it on their mobile phones and they would force us to dance with them. So yeah, so that was fun. Yeah.
But having said that, they also, when we went to Uzbekistan, it was an onslaught of senses. We think Punjabi culture is like loud and, the talk of India, but Uzbekis are what takes the cake. They had no inhibitions. They just stop you in the middle of the road and people hug you and they say, "Oh, you're from India, we love you, we want to marry you."
Marry you, yeah.
And so it felt good for us.
Yeah, and they just pull you. There's a party happening there. They just pull you into the party. They'll put on Indian songs and force you to dance and teach them the steps. Yeah, so Central Asia was, actually they're very reverential, I think, to an extent about Indians and Indian culture.
Not Shah Rukh Khan, not Amir Khan, but Mithun Chakravarti.
Mithun Chakravarti, still going strong. Yeah. And one other thing was another anecdote that comes to mind is we've had a really bad experience with the Russian cops. We used to get pulled up for, till date we don't know what we've done. And then, we'll start to have to bargain with them and bring it down. They say you have to pay us and all of that. So it was miserable. So when we entered Germany, we got pulled over by the German federal police. So these guys again came up to us and they said, can we have your passports and your driving license? So they took it to a car and they checked it and all of that and came back and said, can you women please get down from the car? So we got down and said, come and stand here in front of the car. Got and stand in front of the car. Okay, now we would like a picture with you. It's the first time a car, an Indian car is driving on the German Autobahn. So we all stand and we pose. Yeah, so that was like a celebrity moment. So that was fun. Yeah, thank you.
It's all about people who have helped us en route. And there was, when we were in Bishkek, that is in Kyrgyzstan, we had a time off because we had to redo our visas for a couple of countries. And initially we were routed through Russia, Ukraine, and then Europe. But we didn't want to do Ukraine at that point of time because our visa had run out. So we're looking at options. And suddenly in Bishkek, we were sitting, all three of us, over a drink, and then said, why not just go to Finland? We're so close. We're going to Russia, we'll drive to St. Petersburg, and then we'll do Finland. So that was like a wow moment for us. Okay, let's just do it. It's 1,000 kilometers, big deal, let's just do it. So we decided to enter Finland. And it was we had a multiple entry visa, so it worked well for us. We entered Finland in the middle of the night, almost like 11 is middle of the night there. And we didn't know where we're staying, so we just entered this Indian restaurant, and then there was this really helpful girl who told us, you can come and stay with us in a house. Why are you looking for a guest house? In fact, she was a refugee in Finland from Afghanistan, and she offered us, I'll share my blankets with you, I'll share my pillows with you, but you can just come over to our to my house and stay. She called up her mom and she said, I'll organize blankets for you. It was such a heartwarming experience. It is unbelievable, the kind of people that we met and the help that we've got. I think this travel was more about meeting people, and my faith in the goodness of human beings has increased. And I love to share these experiences of the goodness of human beings to people, because what you see on TV nowadays is really the otherwise.